Support for AZPM comes from Hughes Federal Credit Union, a local not-for-profit cooperative offering 17-month and 30-month jumbo certificate accounts with other tiered options to diversify financial portfolios. Details are at hughesfcu.org/elevate, member NCUA.
Welcome to AZPM News Daily, a wrap-up of all the day's news from Arizona Public Media. I'm Steve Jess, and on this edition, Project Blue moves closer to reality, even as officials question who's behind it.
If you cannot tell the public who this land sale is for, you cannot ask the public to accept the costs.
Hate speech strikes the local Jewish community.
Staff discovered flyers on the property yesterday morning that targeted the Jewish community as well as law enforcement.
And Tucson's new baseball team has not lost a game at home, but they haven't won one either.
Processing delays forced the team to reschedule all of its home games to opposing teams' stadiums.
Starting us off today, in a 3-2 vote, the Pima County Board of Supervisors has approved a contract with Humphreys Peak Properties, the buyer of land for the planned Project Blue data center. Katya Mendoza has more on the agreement that outlines community benefits goals on behalf of the project developer.
Under the acquisition agreement, the project will use air cooling as well as a water source approved by the Arizona Department of Water Resources for office operations. The developers also agreed to make commercially reasonable efforts to match its energy consumption with renewable energy. The agreement also says that Beal will donate $5 million towards STEM education and $10 million towards community funding initiatives. Before the vote, District 5 Supervisor Andres Cano said the most basic question remains unanswered.
Who is this for? If you cannot tell the public who this land sale is for, you cannot ask the public to accept the costs.
Chair Rex Scott noted that Beal will pay Pima County close to $21 million for nearly 300 acres. The county has until Christmas Day to close on this sale. I'm Katya Mendoza, AZPM News.
The Tucson City Council on Tuesday adopted a new transit safety and security plan. In the short term, the plan sets aside $500,000 to install lights at some bus stops and fund police patrols across the bus system. Mayor Regina Romero says the plan will also improve communication between bus drivers, SunTrans security, and police.
This conversation that we had from TPD to the Department of Transportation and Mobility to SunTran to the users and the operators are all teaching us that the systems that we had before were not working.
Most safety incidents tracked by SunTran are drug offenses at bus stops. According to city officials, many of the policies proposed by the Transit Safety Plan are responses to concerns raised by SunTran bus drivers. Tucson police confirm they're investigating a hate vandalism incident at the Tucson Jewish Community Center. L.M. Boyd has more.
According to a statement that the community center released today, staff discovered flyers on the property yesterday morning that targeted the Jewish community as well as law enforcement. The statement describes the material as highly derogatory. Tucson police tells AZPM that investigators are working to identify a person of interest, and there is currently no one in custody. Officials say there is no threat to the public and urge anyone with information to call 911. The incident occurred in the wake of a mass shooting in Australia that targeted a Hanukkah celebration, killing 15 people. L.M. Boyd, AZPM News.
Arizona's senators and 3 members of Congress are calling for an investigation into what they call a developing pattern of abusive conduct by the Department of Homeland Security. We hear more in this report from Danielle Camara.
The request follows a December 5th Immigration and Customs Enforcement raid that escalated when agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into a crowd that included Congressmember Adelita Grijalva. Grijalva signed onto the letter, which asks that the investigation include a review of DHS's use of force decisions that day against American civilians and any obstruction of congressional oversight. The letter also called for a review of DHS policies on the use of chemical agents in public areas and on interactions with elected officials conducting oversight, along with policy recommendations to improve transparency and accountability. I'm Danielle Camara, AZPM News.
Tucson's Mexican Winter League baseball team will finish the season without playing a single game in the city. Tony Perkins has that story.
It is the first season for the Tucson baseball team in the 2025 Liga Arco Mexicana del Pacifico. The new franchise tried for months to secure the updated U.S. visas needed for the players, coaches, and managers to compete in Tucson. But processing delays forced the team to reschedule all of its home games to opposing team stadiums. Team officials now say that the issues involving B1, B2 visas will not be resolved before the end of the regular season on December 30th. Tucson currently sits in last place in the league standings. Pima County Board of Supervisors Chair Rex Scott says he's looking ahead to the team playing its home games at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium next year. I'm Tony Perkins, AZPM News.
The mother of the late rapper Lil Peep is looking for ways to keep open longtime Tucson music venue The Rock, where her son died in 2017. Noor Hagigi tells us about that.
After hearing news that a housing complex may be replacing The Rock, Liza Womack started a petition to keep the iconic Midtown venue open. It's where her son, Gus Orr, known as Lil Peep, accidentally overdosed and died 8 years ago before he was set to perform while on tour. Today, fans still tend to a memorial dedicated to him outside The Rock.
A lot of people go there, and it matters to them. So it just made me sad for the other people who go there too, Gus's fans, anybody who stops by.
While the proposed developer is still in the beginning stages, Womack plans to talk to Tucson city planners and The Rock's owner Kent Van Stel in attempts to protect the venue. Her petition has gained over 11,000 signatures. Noor Hagigi, AZPM News.
A Republican senator from Ohio is sponsoring a bill that would revoke dual citizenship for any person with 2 passports. And some local people are concerned. We hear more from Thatcher Warwick Hess.
Republican Senator Bernie Moreno from Ohio proposed the Exclusive Citizen Act of 2025 aimed at revoking dual citizenship. Some migrants in Tucson fear that this will jeopardize their livelihood in the United States. Andressa Fijiga Hosiberg, a Brazilian master's student and mother, just got her dual citizenship to the United States in August and could not imagine losing it. She says her family will be extremely impacted as her husband and child are also dual citizens. If passed, an individual would have 180 days to renounce their foreign citizenship or relinquish their U.S. citizenship. The bill states the reason for this is to, quote, owe sole and exclusive allegiance to the United States, end quote. I'm Thatcher Warwick Hess, AZPM News.
And now you're caught up on the stories we've covered today at Arizona Public Media. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to AZPM News Daily wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Jess, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Support for AZPM comes from Hughes Federal Credit Union, a local not-for-profit offering tiered options to diversify financial portfolios, such as 17-month and 30-month jumbo certificate accounts. Details are at hughesfcu.org/elevate, member NCUA.